Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to Let's Talk Meditation with Heather Nieves. It is episode 30, and we are celebrating today. But first, let me introduce myself to those of you that don't already know me. I am a women's empowerment coach and the founder of I Love Me Yoga. I love helping women learn to love themselves and step into their highest potential through movement, meditation, and mirror work. It is time to be more seen. It is time to be more you. It is time to step into your highest potential. So I absolutely love the work that I have been called to do. So today is episode 30. And wow, this feels like a milestone. I was writing out the notes for this episode. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is episode 30. Just like when you turn 30. That's a pivotal age. This is a milestone. So I just paused to take it in, to celebrate, to notice, wow, I'm so freaking proud of myself. I am so proud of myself for showing up and recording 30 episodes, deciding to take up space, deciding to be seen so that I can remind you of what's possible. Because when you see someone else doing something, you're like, wow, that's amazing. That's just a mirror for you to know what's possible. So I hope that you celebrate big moments in your life, big and small, because they all matter. We've got to pause and soak them in. So let's just place our hands on our heart together. And we'll just do 3 breaths to just cleanse our energy and even to just celebrate this moment, to just be in the moment. So inhale and exhale. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. Breathing in and out. Woo! So this morning, before I even sat down to write the notes for this episode, I knew I'm recording an episode today. What's it going to be about? So I just trust that it will pour through me because I have been very creative. I've been in the flow. So I'm going to continue trusting being in the flow. And today I did an 11-minute meditation. I've been challenging myself with 22 minutes, but today was 11 minutes. And in that meditation, I realized, wow, I've been going and doing. And then I catch myself, and then I'm more intentional. And then I've been going and doing. So before I came to do all the things I needed to do today, I just decided, okay, you need to sit for meditation. 22 minutes felt like I have a lot to do before I have to go pick up our son from school, and we're going out of town on Wednesday, but I can still sit and be intentional about my breath, go within, clear the mind, uh, just pay attention to what might be coming through today. So let this be a reminder to be more intentional, to celebrate, to soak in gratitude for life, the work that we're blessed to do, that we are called to do, right? So in that meditation, I did get into a bit of that tendency of lack. And before I spiraled, because here's how the thoughts went, because you know me, I'm very vulnerable and I share openly. I had a moment where I thought, oh my gosh, is anybody even paying attention to what I'm doing anymore with this business? Does my work even matter? Why am I going to do this podcast episode today? Why am I going to show up for my business this week? And I stopped that shit. I stopped it because I'm doing the work. And as much as I talk about this, shit still comes up. But it's a decision. Am I going to let myself spiral? Or am I going to catch it and say, what are you talking about? You have created so many things. You are on episode 30 right now. Right? Your work is out there in the world. You have created so many amazing things. There's a ripple effect. The energy is out there. The cells are spreading. So people are listening, and the universe does give me validation from time to time. Oh my goodness, your podcast was exactly what I needed to hear, right? Your workshop was amazing. But when we do not get that validation, sure, it's easy to give up, or we can remember what I do matters. The work that I'm doing is important. I'm going to continue creating. So I decided, okay, let's show up. Let's show up today. And people see it, people hear it. I'm making a difference. And we have to talk to ourselves this way. We've got to increase our self awareness, and that happens through meditation. And it happens when through having this self awareness, we get to have these ongoing shifts. We get to move forward towards the life we desire, towards our highest potential. Which is why I imagine this is why you're here, because you're doing this work, or you desire to make these changes within. And you might be already doing this work, and these are just like little reminders. And those little reminders end up being extremely powerful, and they're not subtle anymore. A mentor of mine always says the inner work is the most important work that we will ever do in this life, right? The inner work is the most important work that we will ever do in this life. So sit up, warrior. It is time to do the work. So we're going to do some of that today. On Sundays, I've actually been taking time to come in this office, to be by myself, to meditate, to journal. And what I've been doing is I reflect on the past week, I celebrate, and I celebrate what's coming in the week ahead. So because I have a pattern, a tendency of lack and focusing, oh, I'm not where I want to be yet, boom, we've got to knock that out. So let me shift into gratitude. Let me shift into celebrating. You're going to hear me repeat things in these episodes, in this podcast, but they're so important because I need to hear them. I haven't mastered them yet. So maybe you need to hear them too. So this practice of celebrating the past weeks, getting excited about the week ahead, it's become a ritual for me. And it's just happened organically that I've decided I want to be intentional about my time, be intentional about, as I'm writing my lists and scheduling my week, let me celebrate the week behind me. Let me look forward to what's ahead. And so, speaking of, yesterday, our son had his last soccer game of the season. This was his first time playing. And oh my goodness, it was so exciting to see the progress each week, how excited he gets. And the coach is so encouraging, and it has helped them to work as a team. So listen, kudos to this man for wanting to gather a group of 12 7-year-olds to be able to play a soccer game together, because some of them don't get the game still. But that was something really exciting about my weekend. And then yesterday, we also shared something big on social media. It was very sacred to us. And, I announced my pregnancy on social media. And today is October 24th. So we are about 22 and a half weeks pregnant. We're due February 2023 with a baby girl. And I am a public person, especially with what I share online with my business. I'm very vulnerable. But this part of our life, I kept just for us for a bit. This was a decision we decided upon this together, right? To grow our family. And we were really blessed for it to happen immediately. So it took me time to digest and process. And as a Virgo, I love stability. I want to be grounded, right? I'm an earth sign. And as much change as I have experienced in my life, I have moved many, many times. I want you to know I am great at adapting, but it is uncomfortable AF for me to make big changes in my life, as it is for many of us. I don't always embrace it. There's a lot of physical tension that happens, and a lot of resistance, and a lot of overwhelm. Overwhelm is a choice, by the way. And so I needed time to digest and process, and I allowed it to be ours. I allowed it to be sacred. And so we've approached our halfway through our pregnancy. We actually took a really cute photo at a Halloween activity that we took our son to over the weekend. And I just decided I was just going to let go of the need to have a perfect family photo. I didn't honestly want to even get glammed up because or wait for my husband to go get a haircut. And I let all that go. And I decided the skeleton shirt with the baby skeleton in my belly, like that's the perfect way to share this news. And so there's another lesson. Just release perfection, release the way you think you need to do this, the way you need to share this. And I was just really loving this cute Halloween photo. So I said, yes, this is how I want to do it. So I know I'm just sharing kind of some life updates, but this is the beauty. I have so much self-awareness and so many realizations on a daily basis, on a regular basis. I want to share these things with you because it is these subtle moments of realization of self-awareness that help us grow tremendously on our journeys and path. Everything doesn't have to be this deep, profound aha. Those are powerful, but it's the subtle ones that start to stack up in life and make the most impact. So, I mean, of course, our close friends and family have known about our pregnancy, but the big announcement, that was a sacred decision. And I'm really glad that we did it over the weekend to allow others to celebrate it with us. You know, my dear friend and mentor, Jen Kohler, I mention her often on this podcast. She always reminds me that babies bring abundance and love. So I continue to focus on that and remember that each day as we are on this new path in our life. And I know this baby girl really wants to be born through me. This is a spiritual path, and she's here to teach me so much more. So that's my reflection from this past week. I have a lot of exciting things ahead, but some of you participated in the free 3-day Be Seen workshop Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday last week. And I'm so grateful for the women that participated in it live. It was powerful. It was transformational. But today on the podcast, I actually want to bring some of the assignments to you through the podcast. So today you're going to want a pen and paper for the episode. And I want to remind you that writing is the greatest form of focus, clarity. And honestly, if you allow it to, spirit takes over. I write out notes for my podcast, and the things that have been pouring out of me are really, I mean, I'll also credit pregnancy. I got two brains in me right now, but I'm riding the wave. I'm riding the momentum of creativity, of the things that are flowing through me. And a lot of it has come through writing. And I've had an interesting relationship with journaling over the years. But if you just give yourself permission to just take the pen to the paper without so much pressure of what it should say, and just write and write and write, and then give yourself time to write a little bit more, downloads come through, right? It's a spiritual process writing. Allow it to be, right? And then what I invite you to do is I won't be guiding you in meditation today, but I am going to take you through the journaling prompts. But it's important that you go to the meditations. That's part of the elevated experience, because an eyes closed experience changes the way that we receive information, the way that we release, the way that we activate, and it will take you on a deeper journey. So I'll leave the link here. I will leave it in the show notes for you. Once you enroll on the page that I created, boom, immediately you'll receive all three. I'm not sending you multiple emails anymore. The live workshop is done, but this workshop was so powerful. I just put it all together on my website, so you'll get all three replays. So here's what we did for the day one Be Seen free workshop. Yes, we dropped in. We gave ourselves permission to witness ourselves without judgment and just start to pay attention. It's just an invitation to pay attention, become more aware of your limiting beliefs. What has been holding you back from being seen, from growing your business, from launching your business? And it's really a decision to say, all right, I'm not going to avoid these things anymore. I'm going to notice them, and I'm committed to writing them down. And really just make a promise to yourself instead of judging them. Shame has no place in this process, but to just get curious about what's stopping you from being seen and taking up space, right? And then I want you to get pissed off. I want you to get pissed off to write down, just like write down anything that comes to mind about any limiting beliefs that were passed on to you from your past, maybe any societal conditioning that might be a block or causes you to get stuck, any stories that you subscribe to that have kept you safe in the same. And since you're listening to the podcast, pause this, write things down. And then when you're done, unpause it, right? What has kept you safe in the same? I mean, there are some women that said, oh, I need to have a website so I look more professional first. Oh, I need to lose weight, or I need to dress up and look glam and have professional photos in order to launch my business, right? Oh, I have to launch the podcast first. Or I need more experience. Maybe you have thoughts that you're afraid to fail. Maybe you're afraid to succeed. You don't want to look bad. You're avoiding that feeling of embarrassment, right? So it's in a very uncomfortable process to write things down. But if you name it and you write it and you say it out loud, right, admitting it is a step forward. Self awareness is such a powerful tool. So then, what we did through this workshop next, through the meditation, we thank and release it. Some of the women, they wanted to burn these limiting beliefs. They wanted to burn these blocks, noticing the things that have been holding them back. You want to go have a ceremony and burn that shit? Please. It is empowering AF, right? But you can thank, they've protected you, these limiting beliefs, these stories. They've kept you safe in the same, and our humanness loves to feel safe. It is our soul's desire. It is in our true nature to evolve, to grow, to expand. But our humanness, think about it. We were born in a womb, protected, feeling nurtured and loved and warm. We don't even want to be cold. This whole, benefited for your health about cold showers. We don't even want to do that. Yes, it's good for my health, but I don't want to be uncomfortable. I want to be warm. I want to get in my pajamas. I want to be in a hot shower. So just noticing these things about ourselves, that we like to stay safe in the same, we can thank the parts of us that have protected us. And then we say, all right, peace out. I don't need you anymore. Thank and release, right? So this was the process we walked through on day one. I really hope that you'll take the time to write these things down. You can go and do the next day now. You don't have to wait until an actual another day, because here's the power of what comes next is polarity, right? Polarity is powerful. Awareness is powerful. All right, here's the things I notice about that I no longer desire, that I really want to move past. What are my desires? What are my visions, right? Can you vision without limitations? So in the day 2 of the workshop, we dropped in, we went through a meditation, and we created I am statements, truth statements. The truth is, you are brilliant and you are qualified right now. People are waiting to hear from you. They say when the student is ready, the teacher appears. They're out there, they're ready, waiting for you. So write your desires down. Don't write desires like, I want to travel the world and go to Europe just because you're seeing other people on Instagram do it. If your desires are to take your family to Disney, if your desires are to sign your children up for all the sports, if your desires are to impact 1,000 women through your business in this next 3 to 6 to 12 months, then write those desires down. They are yours. And if you run into the I don't know energy, the uncertainty, the confusion, remind yourself you do know. and trust the things that are coming up. Don't judge them. Nothing is silly. No desires or visions are ever silly. They are yours and they are given to you for a reason. And when we're visioning, when we're desiring, we are co-creating, right? We are given these ideas. They are for you. They are for a reason. So if you give yourself permission to honor that and trust that and be guided by that, then you know, okay, I am on the right path. We don't even give time for logic. Don't give time for you to convince yourself out of these great ideas of launching, of creating, of saying something, of posting something, right? And if you desire a certain amount of money, a certain experience in life, to feel a certain way, write those things down as well. And I talked about this in the workshop, right? Money is simply just energy. It is an exchange. We've been talking about that more on the podcast here. This is a podcast about meditation. Having a foundation of meditation is going to help you increase your awareness so that you can tap into these desires, so that you can release the limiting beliefs, and then we can activate all that you are. It is a remembering this process. The work that we do, it is spiritual. We are spiritual beings. So you simply just have to give yourself permission to allow yourself to be led, to be unattached from the outcome, to call yourself higher and trust your path. And then you magnetize your clients. I'm not saying just meditate and then you'll become successful. What we're doing is we're clearing our energy, we're visioning, we're tapping into our desires. And then day 3, we activate. And this is what we create from. Notice if you've put things out there for your business when you're in the energy of lack, when you're in the energy of fear. Fear and excitement are a similar energy. So, that's a gray area and we can always talk about that. But when you are activated, so I use my I am statements, my truth statements before I do my workshops, before I work with clients, before I post anything online, so that I can remember who I am and I can create from that energy instead of like, oh, my things aren't selling out, or no one has contacted me and told me they like my podcast in a while. We've got to pay attention to the energy that we are creating from. So I invite you to share your desires out loud, proclaim them. It doesn't have to be to a person, proclaim them out loud where you are right now. And be grateful for them as if they've already happened. And how will you feel? How will you feel with these desires, with these visions being fulfilled, experiencing all these things that you've just written down? And then on day 3 was tapping into your power and being seen. That one you really need to go listen to the meditation. It is the most activating. But I did discuss confidence on day 3. And Mel Robbins said, confidence is simply the willingness to try. Do you have that willingness inside of you? Then you have confidence. I'm not asking you yes or no. I know you do. You're here listening. So all we have to do is practice this willingness. Confidence is a muscle, right? Being seen, taking up space, it all is practice. You can practice in my free Facebook group, Meditation for Mamas and More. You can practice by sharing things on social media. You can practice by going out into your community and talking to people about who you are, what you do, what your products are, what your services are. And you've got to celebrate yourself along the way. And some of you will take this and you will go take up space and you will be seen. And some of you will forget about this. And that's okay. I just don't want you to sign up for another free thing and just never actually do it. Or just do it once and then, oh, well, that didn't work. I only tried it once. I actually read this on my calendar this morning. You are a badass calendar. And it's so in alignment with the conversation I'm having. I'm going to read it to you right now. Next time you have a mind-blowing flash of insight, write it down. Then dig deeper to pinpoint the details of what shifted for you. Record how the shift makes you feel and all the details of how you now think. Believe and approach life differently. Read and viscerally absorb these details of your aha moment every day after it happens. If you really want the humdinger that just blew in and made all your hair stand up to stick around, you have to spend time massaging it into your being, or else it will fly out as quickly as it flew in. And you cannot just meditate once. Okay, that felt nice. Okay, well, I guess it didn't really work, right? You can't just do the inner work, noticing your limiting beliefs, tapping into your desires, showing up once for your business on an email, on the internet, in person, right? We need to continue doing this inner work. We need to do the energetic work, and having support and accountability helps with this process. So, what I want to say is, I want to invite you to share this workshop if any of this episode spoke to you, if you found it helpful. I didn't go into as much depth. I really just want you to download the workshop. If you know anyone that has a business and is ready to make more money or step into their power, or women that want to start a business but have been hesitating because they're paralyzed by fear, by perfectionism, please have them enroll in this. I'm going to put the link below. The work is never done, and that can sound exhausting. It can sound exciting, right? We just have to continue growing and tapping into our highest potential, right? It is our true nature. And I'm here to call you higher. I'm here to support you, to help you love yourself and step into that potential and possibility. Because it's time to take up space. No more sitting back and watching others do it. Those people that are doing it, we're showing you what's possible. It is time to make more money, ladies. It is time to be seen. It is time to take up space. So, what is next after the free Be Seen workshop? I mean, whether you participated in the workshop or not, what I have for you is an invitation. If you're listening to this episode, the doors are officially open to my 4-week group coaching program mastermind. It's called Take Up Space. Who would have thought? And what I did, I moved the start date from October 31st to November 7th, and I'm only accepting 8 women into this container with me. I'm excited because we'll not only meet weekly for mastermind sessions to continue doing this work together, so you can practice being seen and take up space. We also get to share ideas with each other. Hey, what's working for you? What's not working for you? We get to put a plan together and learn from one another. We get to co-create together. And then on top of those weekly coaching mastermind sessions, I will be adding in activation through I Love Me yoga and meditation. So one coaching mastermind call and one movement meditation activation session each week. So 8 sessions for 4 weeks. It will help you release those bullshit patterns that have been holding you back and get you activated to tap into your highest potential and take up space. Because I just want you to remember the work that you do matters. The ideas that you have are for you. People are waiting and ready to do the work with you and to buy your products. So I'll leave the details for that program below in the show notes. I just want to thank you for listening today. If you found this episode helpful, please write a review on Apple or rate it on Spotify, share it with a friend, tag me on social media, but I will talk to you next week. Have the best day ever, beautiful soul. Thank you for listening.